Welcome back to Silent Screams, the podcast that gives a voice to the victims whose stories deserve to be remembered. Before we begin, please know this episode contains discussions of domestic violence, child sexual abuse, and homicide. Listener discretion is strongly advised. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, turn on your notifications, and remember that every share helps keep these victims' stories alive.
A suspect is now in custody after a mother and daughter were found dead in their home near Reynoldsburg.
Rocky Walker live at the scene this morning with new information about the suspect and his connection to the victims. Rocky.
Yeah, Amy and Katie, 33-year-old Shalimar Green and 11-year-old Aliv'eyah Chandler, the daughter of Shalimar Green. Their dead bodies were found here at this home just behind me last night. Now, this double homicide, the main suspect is Shalimar Green's husband, Derek Green. He has since been arrested. Now, we're taking a look into Derek Green's past, and he has faced some serious allegations. Here, take a look at your screen. This is a mugshot for Derek Green from a prior case. In 2023, he was charged with strangulation and domestic violence. That case didn't move forward after a grand jury declined to indict him. He was also charged with murder in 2021 in connection to a New Year's Day shooting that left a man dead. This is video from that scene. That case didn't move forward as well because a grand jury wouldn't indict him. Now that brings us to this double homicide case today, where officers say Green and his wife were in an ongoing domestic dispute. He fled the house but was later arrested. And the bodies of the mother and daughter were found by family members coming over to check on their well-beings. Now, I've put in a records request to the court to get the criminal complaint and affidavit. That will give us a closer look into what may have led to this double homicide. Once that comes to me, I'll be sharing it with all of you on air, online, and on our app. But for now, live on your side in Columbus, Rocky Walker. Good day, Columbus.
Tonight's case comes from Columbus, Ohio. It is the story of a mother who was trying to leave a little girl who had just celebrated finishing 6th grade, and a family now left to carry a grief that words cannot fully describe. This is the story of Shalimar Green and Aliv'eyah Chandler. 33-year-old Shalimar Green was a mother, a daughter, a woman trying to move forward with her life. By all accounts, she was actively attempting to end her marriage and create a new beginning for herself and her children. Her daughter, Aliv'eyah Chandler, was just 11 years old. 11. She had recently completed 6th grade and should have been spending her summer laughing with friends, making memories, and dreaming about the future. Instead, both of their lives were cut short. On May 27, 2026, concern began to grow among family members. When loved ones couldn't reach Shalimar, a relative requested a welfare check at the family's home on Chatsworth Way in Columbus. But before law enforcement could arrive, the relative made a discovery no family member should ever have to make. Inside the home were Shalimar Green and her daughter, Aliv'eyah Chandler. Both were dead. Investigators later determined the mother and daughter had suffered multiple gunshot wounds and stab wounds. The scene was devastating, and the nightmare was only beginning. Authorities quickly identified 35-year-old Derek Green as the primary suspect. According to investigators, he had already fled the residence before officers arrived. A search began. Later that night, SWAT officers located and arrested him. As detectives worked to piece together what happened inside that home, disturbing details started to emerge. Prosecutors revealed that Shalimar had been trying to leave the marriage. Court proceedings later disclosed that just one night before the murders, Shalimar reportedly discovered Derek sleeping on the couch with a knife. She allegedly took the knife away and confronted him. For many people listening, that detail may feel chilling because sometimes the warning signs appear before the tragedy. Sometimes people recognize danger. Sometimes they try to protect themselves. And sometimes, despite those efforts, violence still happens. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered previous allegations involving Derek Green. Court records show that in 2023, he had been arrested on domestic violence and strangulation allegations involving Shalimar. That case was later dismissed because of insignificant evidence. Records also show he had previously been charged in connection with a fatal New Year's Eve shooting in 2021. However, a grand jury declined to indict him. It is important to remember that those prior cases did not result in convictions. In the wake of these murders, many in the community have questioned whether warning signs existed long before May 27th. What prosecutors revealed next shocked even seasoned investigators. During an arraignment hearing, prosecutors stated that Derek Green confessed during a police interview to sexually assaulting 11-year-old Aliv'eyah after her death. The allegation is almost impossible to comprehend. A child, daughter, a young girl whose life had already been stolen. For many people following this case, that revelation transformed an already horrific tragedy into something even darker. It left the community searching for answers and a family grappling with unimaginable pain. News of the murders spread quickly throughout Columbus. Teachers remembered Aliv'eyah, classmates remembered her smile, neighbors remembered the family, friends struggled to understand how something so horrific could happen. Soon, mourners gathered outside the home. Candles flickered in the evening air. Balloons rose toward the sky. Tears flowed freely. The vigil wasn't just about remembering a mother and daughter. It was about grieving futures that would never come. An 8th grade graduation, a driver's license, a first job, a wedding, grandchildren, memories that now exist only in imagination. Today, Shalimar's parents are carrying a burden no parent should ever have to bear. Not only are they mourning the loss of their daughter and granddaughter, they are now helping raise Shalimar's surviving sons. Imagine the conversations. Imagine the questions, the birthdays, empty chairs, the moments when grief appears without warning. Aftermath of homicide doesn't end when the crime scene is cleared. For families, it lasts a lifetime. There is something else we need to talk about: domestic violence. Too often, people ask victims why they stayed. We don't ask enough questions about what happens when they leave. Research consistently shows that attempting to leave an abusive relationship can be one of the most dangerous times for a victim. Leaving requires courage, planning, support, resources, and even then, safety is not always guaranteed. Shalimar Green was reportedly trying to start a new chapter. She deserved the chance to do that. Aliv'eyah deserved the chance to grow up. Neither should have had their story end like this. As of this recording, Derek Green remains in custody on a $5 million bond. The case continues through the court system, and like all defendants, he is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. Today, however, our focus remains where it belongs, on Shalimar Green and Aliv'eyah Chandler, a mother, a daughter, two lives that mattered, two voices that should never be forgotten. If you like to honor their memory, please consider supporting organizations that assist victims of domestic violence and their families. And if you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, reach out for help. There are people who care, people who will listen, and resources are available. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Silent Screams. Until next time, listen to the silence, because sometimes the loudest screams are the ones nobody hears.